Hello. How's it going, everyone? I'm Talien, and we're here for another speed paint. It's finally not a standard one this time. We've got our limited palette challenge. Let me just take, oh, I was going to say, let me take a look to make sure stream stuff is working well, but then Cat appeared. So we have Cat now. Hello, Cat. Cool. Well, I guess we can get started on this one. It's gonna be a bit of a weird one to do with a limited palette. Hello, Buns. Welcome to stream. Yeah, this is a really cool one, and I kind of am afraid of not doing it justice just because I have limited colors to work with. But, you know, we'll do what we can. Kitty is licking my hand, but I guess I don't need to draw with that one, so it's probably okay. Just like mountains and stuff happening. There's just like this whole vortex up here. Just like crazy sky shit. Put in this plant too while we're here, I guess. Though it's not super important. The most important thing are, of course, the floating islands and whatnot. Video cutout? Uh-oh. I am seeing some drop frames. I think it's internet, unfortunately. Let me check. Okay, well, my internet is, like, connected, but it might be a little bit unstable. Is the video back? Oh, no, I see what you're talking about. That's not... What? What the heck is that? Oh my gosh. That was just me being stupid. Sorry. What happened is I forgot to deactivate my timer that I use for the starting screen for the video game streams, and it automatically switched me over to my game scene, but I didn't have a game up, so oops, I forgot to do that. Whoops, my bad. Okay, well, fortunately that means the actual stream is fine. That was just a configuration issue on my end. Sorry about that. I always forget about that, and I'm always afraid that when I turn it off, I'm gonna forget to turn it back on for the video game stream. It's kind of a pain. Honestly, I've been thinking of potentially using the timer for my art streams too, but then that means that every time I have to remember to reconfigure which scene it flips to. Because right now it can just flip to the capture card. It's really annoying. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way, because I totally could have just gone this whole stream without realizing that it was on the wrong scene. That would have been really bad. Gosh. I feel like I should maybe just leave this stuff um, for later, like not worry about the sketch too much and just kind of put it in during the color phase. And hello, Tori! Wowzers, thank you. I don't know if you're referring to the drawing or to my screw up, but regardless, glad to have you here. There's just like so much stuff in here that I just don't feel like I should be spending too much sketch time on, you know? I think maybe I should just go straight into the into the colors. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here, though. I think this is like a continuous line of a peak, but it's really hard to tell. There's just so many like small fiddly bits on this one. Let's maybe just go into color time. All right, so we have a limited palette. I don't really have like strict rules on how I do this, but my past limited palette ones have all been 5 colors. So I'm gonna see if I can keep this one to 5 colors. I don't know if that's gonna work. So we obviously need like a deep blue. We need some kind of white. I think we need like a warm orangey brown color for the rocks, and I think we need a bright yellow. So let's just make a separate layer for keeping track of the colors. Let me see what basic color. So the blue would go like in places like here and here and here. I think here is kind of where it's the brightest. So I think we want to capture that as a color. And then for the other slightly off ones, we can hopefully make that by mixing it with other colors to like desaturate it a little bit. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So we need like something nice and bright for the first one, I think. What the heck is, why is it on there? So like with something like, oh, that's way too much. Way too much. Oh, scale that back. Is that good? That looks pretty good. That's gonna be, maybe we need a little bit more than that though. I think that's gonna be my first option. We're not locking them in yet, but we need to go. So I think we need like, we might need like an actual white, like white. I think this is a little bit off-white. It's like a yellowish color. So let's try that. Maybe like that. We're not going to be able to see that at all. But is this an okay whitish color? I think so. Let's put that here. Oh, you can actually kind of see it. We'll just not lose track of it. We have that. I might replace this with actual white later. I guess the problem is that the colors always like mix together and get less intense than I'm intending them to be. So sometimes it's good to choose your color to be something stronger just to compensate for that. But for now, I'm going to try to go with this one. Let's try to get like an orange for this. I think it needs to be a little bit redder than that and maybe a little bit more saturated. Is that good? I think that might be good. It's maybe too much, but I think it'll probably work. So there is then also this darker brown color, but we might need to sacrifice that because we have very limited colors today. I wonder, I think if we mix that with the blue, we're definitely going to need a darker color though. I'm trying to decide whether this is good. I mean, these are the first draft colors anyway. I'm still gonna change them up after that. So we have these. We need a darker color for the shadows and stuff. What kind of color do we want for that? I think probably like a dark blue. We take our blue color and just, I don't know, how dark do we want this? Honestly, I feel like the darkest parts of this are, well, there's a little bit of shadow in this plant, but mostly the dark parts are like in here and in these rocks and maybe a little bit in here. So I wonder if the dark color for this should actually just be, should be a brown instead of a blue. that's tricky. Also, this one, I'm not sure what to do with because I'm gonna have to use this for like all of the bright parts. So the stuff in here, how does that, whoops. How does that interact with this blue? I feel like we might need it to be brighter actually. It's probably okay for the first draft. Maybe we'll start with these colors and then we'll see what we need after that. Because this is going to be a problem. Right, I did also want to have a yellow, like a yellow. So for stuff like a little bit of yellow in here and in here, let's put that in for now. But we're definitely going to need more blues because, you know, most of this picture is blue and we need to have some depth to that. So like here we can shade with the brown color and with the white color. How do we get these dark parts? I think I'm going to start trying to do something with these and then fix things as we go. Let's try to do like let's see how much we can sketch in of this in like 5 minutes just to test the colors. Okay, this is going to be weird, but I guess that's how these limited palette ones go. Oof, that is like way too bright for this part. So maybe we should consider having a different blue there. Definitely need that on here. Oh man, I feel like we need so many more different blues. Just kind of everything in blue, to be honest. Do everything in blue, and then this, we want our off-white color for the rest of the stuff. How do we do this? This is a little bit cheating because this is very transparent. All right, whatever. Let's just fill this in with this. Okay, so that we're not cheating too much with transparency, I'm going to just put in the colors like all the way. This is such a weird process. I've never done a speed paint like this before. I'm just kind of making things up as I go along, you know. So we can lighten up bits of this using this. Doing stuff kind of like that. I don't know, I'm just making it up. Whatever. This part is very different. So here we have a little bit more of like a cyan-y sort of blue, which we don't really have reflected in anything right now. So we can potentially do stuff with like this and this, all this glowy stuff in here. And then we take this one and I was using the transparent watercolor brush. I'm so stupid. Oops. I feel like this is actually, for this glow, this color is not bright enough. It's not doing the thing, but it'll probably do what we need to here. Oops, come on. What the heck? What? Did I? Oh my god, did I like move the transparent watercolor brush to there? No, I don't want that there. I want this. Please and thank you. And for here, it's also not really working. But again, I can't really expect to have exact colors in a challenge like this. And then, of course, this part I have no idea what to do with, because that is the shadowy part. Oh boy. I don't know. What the heck do we do here? We can use this for... Oh, it's on the wrong brush again. For some of the shading in here a little bit. This looks terrible. The question is what to do with this. Huh. So we need more variety in the blues, and we need something to be that shadow color. I don't know. This is a really tough one. You know what? I am going to take that transparent watercolor and see if I can just kind of blend with this to get lighter colors. But we also want darker colors, though. I think we need to go darker than this. This is just not nearly dark enough. All right, how do we do the darker colors? Can we take our orangey color and do something dark here? So that would be able to do something here. And what happens if we apply this to like here? Does that darken it up enough? Oh, that's helping for sure. It's something. It's doing something. That's actually a really nice color for this. That works shockingly well. Maybe go a little darker. See, the thing is, with all of these speed paints, I'm always really bad at like going dark enough with the shadows. And like this looks okay to me now, but I'm afraid that eventually it's just going to turn out to be not dark enough, and we're not going to have enough colors to actually go dark. I think this might be the way to go, though. Let's put this as our tentative color. So here's a 5-color palette. Is it the one that we want to stick with, is the question. I don't think this is working quite. I think most of the stream is just going to end up being me messing around with these colors and not so much working on the final product, but that's probably okay. I think this needs to be redder for one. Yeah, that's fitting that more, but what about for this stuff? Is that going to be okay? I feel like here it needs to be more saturated, like go all the way into here or something. And honestly, probably even pinker. That might do. So what if we just like take this on a separate layer and do this? Is that that's way too bright for that, but I don't know, maybe it's the way to go. I think we're maybe going to lock in this color for this. So it's a slightly brighter version of what I had there originally. I think we can go with that. I think I'm pretty happy with the dark brown color. I'm not sure about the blue. I feel like the blue could maybe go a little bit darker. I think the blue could maybe go a little bit darker. Let's try going with that. So this is the blue. And then let me actually make sure I had the other one correct. Is this one? Oh, whoops, wrong layer. Yeah. So we have this. The others I think are probably okay. I'm not entirely sure if we need both the white and the yellow. I do think the yellow will be helpful. I think we have our 5 colors. And I think we can just delete this and start over with the proper colors. Should I just do everything on one layer like I did? Or should I put the floating islands and stuff on a separate layer? Maybe I'll just do one layer. I think that was actually working surprisingly okay. Let's start with a background layer, and then maybe we can put everything else on the same layer too. We'll see as we go. Okay, so we'll start with these 2 colors for the background layer, and then we'll put some of the dark browns for the shadows, and then maybe a little bit of the yellows for a bit of extra oomph. This one is gonna be so weird. I'm actually really excited for it. Oh, come on. I'm getting a little bit of lag. Should I fill in everything like this? Maybe I should just fill in the entire layer with that. Let's do something like this. And then the middle part gets the white treatment. This is so weird. We're like halfway in already, and we've just barely decided on the colors. It's gonna be crazy. Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna take... No, I should probably take actually like a lighter watercolor brush and be a little bit more careful with these gradients and stuff. So like go a little bit, get some lighter stuff in here. Oh, I'm using the wrong color. I should use this. Lighten things up more. Actually, I shouldn't be going with too much light in here because this is the dark part. And this is the brightest part, so I have to try to keep that clean. This is actually turning out pretty cool. I like it so far. Unfortunately, we're absolutely going to run out of time. We don't have time to do this justice. So sad. All right. I wish I could have 3 colors over here instead of switching between 2, because we could really use a 3rd color right now. So this is going to be, yeah, just all of this needs to get way darker. And leave a little bit of that light highlight there. And then we take our dark color there. Man, I really wish I had more time on this one. And put that in for, you know what? I think maybe I should have darkened it with the blue first, so that I had more blue to blend with. Oh, no, not. You know what? Let's go dense watercolor again. This is really fun to do. I just wish I had more time to do it. I might go overtime on this one, just because this is such a weird challenge, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to cheat on my challenge either, though. Get some texture in the clouds there, and a little bit of the white for texture too. No. I want to go in with this there first before I go texture. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so good. Color theory! We doing color theory in here? A little bit of that in here too, just for fun. Okay, that's some good stuff. That's too much. There we go. Ha ha ha. Man, I wish I had more time on this one. Let's see it without the... Maybe a 5-minute color picking stage before the challenge starts. Excuse me? Did you not see me take like 20 minutes on these colors? 5 minutes is not gonna cut it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe these can get a little bit of extra time. And can we just take, you know what, I'm gonna just take a big brush and go very lightly for some more of that in there. I guess while we're doing the sky, let's just finish it up with the yellow as well. Should help a little, yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's fun like this too. Get a little bit of the yellows in there, and a little bit in there too. Just some extra yellow to brighten things up. Put a little bit in there too. Okay, cool. That's the sky done. We're at 30 minutes. I think maybe we can do okay. It's not gonna be perfect, but okay. That's the sky. Do we want to put... Let's try doing separate layers. Okay, so this mountain here is going to be mostly... Whoops. Mostly the blue and brown. That is a very nice sky, though. Thank you. I am actually very happy with it. I love the blending of the blue and brown. That looks so good. That was a genius move on my part. We did something similar with the last limited palette one, too. And it is always quite fun. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. We just kind of have something like this, and I think I shouldn't worry too much about the shape because I'm gonna end up messing with it. And then have the brown and just blend them together. Is it cheating? Is this not limited palette? I'm making new colors on the fly. And I think we need to lighten this up a little bit too, so I'm just gonna go with our white too. At least for some of the highlights. And then maybe do more of the shadows with... Yeah, I think this ended up being too dark. I think we should lighten it up. You know what? Go all in. Hmm? I don't know what I'm doing at this point. But hey, if it works. Get some of the shadows in some places. That's too intense. I need to be very careful with it. I think I do also want to take like a little bit of that for some of the brighter bits. It is really cool to look at the colors in here though, because like there's this like volcanic explosion thing that's lit up by the sun, and the reds from that are kind of reflecting um onto the mountain face and stuff. It looks really cool. Ah! I went very much outside the lines there, but I'll try to put a little bit of highlight on. It's too bright. How can I make this a little bit softer? Seems like it'd be hard to breathe here. It absolutely is. I think this place, you actually have to be in like a special magic form or you take damage. That's not looking right because it's like too soft. Okay, something like that. Whatever. Let's go with that. Let's put in this corner thing. Looks like I'm a genius too. All right. I think actually maybe we can just add a little bit of our yellow into the blue here. What would happen if we did that? Also, we can totally like add in these flowers with our white. That would totally work. Yeah, no, this isn't exactly working because it gets way too desaturated, but it's good enough, I think. Yeah, yeah, it's as good as we're gonna get. Okay. The bush I might just let's put it in, whatever. I was gonna say we'll leave it for last in case we have time, but Whatever, let's just give it a try. Get that out of the way. Get this thick brush. Maybe even put a little bit of this in here. It's not quite working, but I think I'm gonna use that as the base and then put the yellow over it. I think that brush is too small for that. We need to get some dark parts in there too, but the only dark color we have is this one. So it'll have to do. Is that good enough for the bush? I think it might be as good as we have. Okay, that'll be good for the bush. Should we maybe put this glow on a separate layer? Let's try to put that glow on a separate layer. I think these are our 5 colors now. Here we'll start. Should we just start with the transparent watercolor? Put that over this, yeah. Put that like that, and then just go like all in on. Whoa, that looks so cool. It's even better than I expected. Although we definitely need to go brighter even than this. Actually, I think let's get rid of the orangey bits here and have that be more yellow. Maybe erase a little bit. I think this is getting too intense. And we're gonna, after this, we're gonna go in with the white too. Just a little bit of everything in there. Just keep kind of feathering out the edges a little bit. Keep it. Whoop! Maybe that's a little bit too transparent. Although it's fine. We'll go in there with the white, so it'll be okay. And then we have our white, and put some of that in there. Yeah. Let's go with the bigger brush though. How are we on time? We're bad on time, but we're doing our best. More white, I think. Well, this part is going to get covered up by, you know, the other stuff. And then a little bit more of this in here, I think. Is that good enough? Does it maybe need a little bit more yellow in some places? Whatever you do not imagine dramatic music playing right now. Oh, it's getting so dramatic. Okay, I think we can't spend too much time on this because we're so short on time. That looks great, though. I love how that looks. I do think it could use a little bit of extra pop of something more saturated, but I'm not going to mess with that right now. I think that's as much as we can do. I guess let's keep putting these things on separate layers. So up next we need all of our other stuff. Oh boy. So we need this and we need this. Let's start with those two colors, and then we're going to need the dark brown for the side there. I'm scared. This is like where it really starts. Let's save what we have so far also. Yep. Oh, come on. Do not blend with that. I want the full color, not the shitty blended version. Okay, so something like that. And then we get our dark shadow color over here. Oh, beautiful. Looking good. I think this needs to actually go out to the side a little bit more. All right, whatever, good enough. Yeah, cool. It's working. We're getting there. Look at that. Let's get some of these things in there too before we get into the other stuff. How are we on time? We're actually really good on time, given how we started. Actually, one thing I wanted to do, where's the mountain? That's on this layer. I actually want to kind of clean up the edge of that mountain. Just sharpen that up a little bit. Not that I really have time to do all of that messing around. Okay, we have this. Let's try to put in the other stuff. I'm actually going to take the dense watercolor brush for that too, because these are more in the background, so they're a little bit faded. So I want to just put them in a little bit more gently. This is actually kind of not in the right spot where I put it. I think it should be more here. And then I'm gonna put it in with the blue color. That's actually working surprisingly well. Sacrifice 20 minutes to empower the next. Exactly. Those 20 minutes did their job. It was great. So how's that looking? That looks incredible. Look at that, guys. And then this one is a little bit weirder. I'm actually going to put it in with the orange and then just put the blue on top of it. So this really goes like all the way up to this thing. I actually think my this thing is too far to the right. I need to shift it left a little bit. You know what? Maybe I'll just go paint it in a little bit like that. Whatever. Close enough. Okay, we have that. And now we just let's get the thick brush because I think it's not showing up well over the orange. That looks very lovely, but it looks too dark. I guess we can always go in with like a white or whatever. And I do think it needs to get more blue. We had too much of the orange going on. Who needs to find colors in advance when you can just mix them on your straight on your canvas? Easy peasy. I still think that's a little bit too dark, but I think we don't have time to fix it. So that's just what we're going to go with. See, we even have these things that it's got up there. Nice. Then this has all of this stuff going on top. That doesn't look quite right. Oh, that's maybe too much. Is this the right white? It looks too white. Yeah, no, it is correct. Okay. Let's also give it a little bit more white on here, just because I think that's still like too bright. Yeah, I think all we really have left is the details on here. We're so great on time, actually. We're like, we're killing it. And actually, while we're here, I also want to give this a little bit of a boom. Get some of that yellow in there and in there. Cool. And you know what? Also, punch up some of these shadows a little bit with some blue. Boom. And actually back here, it's starting to fade away. So we can give a little bit of that in there. Oh, looks so good. We can also get a little bit of stuff going in here. There's just stuff happening, and it's great. And there's like some plants and stuff on here that we can put. Look, there's like plants. And oops, this. Whew. All right, almost done. I think the main thing are these thingies on here. There's also like this rock there and a whole bunch of other little floaty rocks. But we got the main stuff. Okay, let's get our thingamabobbers. So this blue definitely looks too bright for this. I don't know if I'm really gonna have time to go in with one of the other colors to, oops, to fix that up. Because I think the thing that I actually really want to focus on is the highlights instead. This. You know what? I am gonna put I'm mostly not trying to make it lighter, but I'm trying to make it less saturated. I think it's just a little bit too much right now. And I think after this, I'm going to go in and make it a little bit darker. I think this is kind of my only way of doing that. Which is a little bit weird, but good enough. And actually, there is like more stuff happening here. We have this, and then these definitely have that orange reflection on the bottom. I don't know how well that's really going to turn up, but we can try to put it in there. Yeah, that's showing up. You can see it. It's a very small detail, but it's visible. Okay. I think this is kind of hanging over the edge a little bit more than it should be. Oops. No, it's not quite right. More over there. Like that. Let's make the stuff behind this a little bit brighter so that it shows up better. There is also some like orangey, you know what, I'm going to put that on this layer where we have our other glow stuff. Put some more. Oh, that's too much. Just very gently, very gently. Yeah, kind of like that. I don't love how that looks because it is kind of muddying up the blue a little bit. Maybe I should be putting it on the back layer instead. Oh no, that's worse. Okay, I think we'll go with that. It's not ideal, but it's close enough. And maybe let's actually put a little bit of it to brighten up this too. What else? What else? Let's put in this rock, I think. Oh wait, why is it? I was like painting with the wrong brush. Why do I keep doing that? Let's see what we want. I think let's put that in with the brown first, and then we'll go from there. That's on the right layer, right? Yeah, I think so. That is completely in the wrong place, because you can see this almost reaches the bottom. It's like here, but it's not going to reach this from there. So I'm going to put mine like there. Is that close enough? I think that might be close enough. I think that's close enough. There we go. I'm still doing this with the transparent watercolor brush. What am I doing? Oh my gosh, I was wondering why it looked so weird. No, we want to go in with this color. Like that. Like that. And then we go in with this. Like that. Why? That ended up looking too dark. Here we go. And let's, can lighten it up with a little bit of this. Maybe? I don't know. That doesn't look great. Okay, whatever. It's close enough anyway. What else do we want to do? We can put in some of the other floaty rock bits and stuff. These ones here are pretty dark, so they should probably be in the brown color. What else? There's some more like floating up here. That is absolutely insane to me that we actually like made good time on this one. I was so sure it would never happen. These are turning out too dark, but whatever. I mean, I guess we could go in with a white or something to lighten it up, but I feel like that's not going to look good. Whatever, they can be a bit dark. It's fine. This one seemed very ambitious. Yeah, I'm shocked, honestly. I don't know how I pulled that off. I think I got like too much white going on in here. What else? Let's get a little bit more lightening over here. We're like not even at time yet. We're totally fine. That's wild. What else can we do? I don't know. Oh, right. I wanted to put in the flowers. Will dense watercolor cut it? I think that's good enough. I don't want it to get too carried away. Let's make some of them a little bit stand out a little bit more with the dense watercolor brush. I do think they ended up being a little bit too white, maybe, but that's okay. Quite the comeback king you've proven yourself to be. That was incredible, honestly. This one is legendary. And I think this is actually like, oh, I forgot this peak over here, but whatever. It's not important. We're not gonna care about it. I want to put in a little bit more of the like reds in here. Look at that. Oh, so good. Oh my God. Going in the history books, absolutely. Get some of that. Oh, oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Do we want to go in and like make this background a little less scribbly? That could be fun. Though we are kind of running out of time at this point. Not with that. Not ideal, but maybe it'll do. Oh, wrong color. I actually wanted to do that with more blue. All right, is that looking okay? I think we might be done. Is that done? God damn. Truly legendary. I actually cannot believe I pulled that off. That's so good. You know what? Real quick, let's give it a little bit of a... It's I always have trouble with these like rays. Oh, come on. There we go. Good enough. Whew! Or actually, no. I want to put some outside too. This way. There. This really wasn't trust the process. Absolutely. God damn. Whew! Incredible. Or you know what? If we have a little bit more time, I can actually want to raise this bit a little bit here. There we go. Okay, done. Look at that. I can't believe that came together so well. Oh, that was magic. 5 colors. Look at that. Color theory can do some incredible things. All right, well, thank you for sticking around, guys. That was a really fun one. Well, okay, before we leave, obviously we have to do our next roll. Is the wheel working? Where's the wheel? Oh, god damn it. Are you serious? Sorry, I think the wheel page just like crashed. Come on. This one was a really fun one to watch unfold. It really was. That was quite the adventure we went on. All right. Is the wheel working? Let's spin the wheel. Oh my god, wheel, what are you doing? Oh. Round 2! So that means I get to take a previous one and do another hour on it. I guess we'll have to figure out what previous speed paint just didn't get enough time. So, that will be next week. And we'll have fun with it. All right, so in the meantime, I think next week's schedule is pretty normal. I don't think there's anything weird going on. So, Tuesday, Thursday, we'll be playing I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. And then Sunday, we'll be here for round 2. All right. I'll see you guys there. I hope you had fun. That was a great one. This is going to be an iconic speed paint. All right. See you guys later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.